Hello guys, here we'll be talking about deployment of BigIP configuration, AS3 configuration workflow using GitHub Actions workflow and Terraform Cloud. So initially you can see that we don't have any configuration on BigIP, no virtual server, no tenants, nothing, right? So now let's look at the configuration here. This is a simple Terraform TF file. Here you can see that we are using big IP provider, and the backend used here is the Terraform Cloud provider. Sorry, the Terraform Cloud, and big IP CI is the workspace, and here is the definition of the provider as well as here I have the big IP AS3 resource which I am using to deploy the configuration. So now what I'm typically the DevOps guy will do is actually use the resource to provision the AS3 template. Now, what I just did is actually change the code in terms of what I am wanted to do. In this example, I'm deploying the AS3 template through GitHub Action Workflow and Terraform Cloud. So this is the AS3 template. You can see that we have the virtual server definition here. We're using virtual port 8080, and I'm also deploying a WAF policy. If you go down here, I have this WAF policy definition, and this WAF policy it is picking up from the GitHub location. And I'm also using service discovery, console service discovery, and this is the declaration for that, right? Um, so now, if you see that now whatever changes I need to do, I have already done those changes. So I'm gonna commit those changes in the repo. Like I can say that app protected, or maybe let's see, say protected app, and I'm gonna basically commit this code, right? So as soon as I commit the code, what happens here is since I have GitHub Action workflow, you can see that because of the commit, the workflow has already started uh, executing, right? Now, if you click here, actually, you can see that this is the Terraform workflow. So what it is doing is it is setting up Terraform configuration. It's using it's doing Terraform init plan as well as apply. So you can see that big IP CI is getting executed right now. So this is happening through the Terraform uh, through the GitHub action. So now this is initializing, and eventually it's also gonna apply the configuration. So this is it's creating the big IP AS3 template on the big IP. You can see the status here, what is happening in terms of the GitHub action, right? So yeah, so pretty much it configured, uh, did the configuration. The workflow has been completed. You can see that on the Terraform cloud, you already see that the run has been completed. You can go and check the log as well. Uh, and on the plan side also, you can see that the AS3 has been deployed. Now, I can go to the big IP and see that what has already happened, right? You can see that you have the app, the virtual server being configured. I can go to the virtual server here, see that the virtual server is configured. You can also go and check that the policy is being applied or not. So I can see that my policy is also being applied, right? Now let's look at let's look at and try to access the backend application. So I can give this and say, let's say 8080 is the port, we know that. 8080, and you can see that I am able to access the backend, right? Now, typically the developer, if he's testing this backend, I can see that whether my WAF is working properly or my application is working properly or not. So I can sign up here and create a ID. I can say BD user ID, and let's give some password here. So I created the account. Let me save this. My account is created. I can go and sign in. I can say, okay, again BD, and I can automatically sign in. So I'm into the application now. So I'm into the application now. So I'm into the application now. I can create a new snippet, example snippet I can create. So I basically click here, and this is my snippet. I'm able to access the snippet. Everything works fine, right? So let's go back. Let's say I wanted to test now whether the cross-site scripting is working or not, or whether, like my app is being protected by the WAF or not. So to do that, so I wanted to see now my app is being protected or not, right? So what I will do is actually I can create a cross-site scripting problem and see whether the WAF is able to protect the application or not, right? So I can create a new snippet here and introduce the cross-site scripting problem here. And when I do that, you can see that basically the WAF it got activated, and it blocks the access to the application, or it basically blocks the cross-site scripting problem. I can also have multiple, try to do this multiple so that I can see that on the WAF policy those block messages are or the events are being created. So let me create few attempts here. So for every attempt, my WAF protects. So you can see that A on mouse over, and I'm sending this alert, and which is protecting my application. Now, if I go back to the big IP here, if I go to the security, let me go to the security here, and I can go to analytics and see uh, what my WAF did in terms of protecting my application, right? So if you look here in the application traffic, I should have, you can see that. Uh, so now if you go to the application security, I can go to analytics, and I can click on the application traffic. You can see that this is my legal 13 tries, and out of that, some of them are blocked already, right? So I got 8 block connections. So those were actually where I was trying to enter the cross-site scripting problem here, right? So this is pretty much the app is protected and the application is protected through this. And basically, you can have application is product protected, and you can have the uh, workflow being integrated through Terraform as well as through the uh, GitHub Actions. So here now we can also see. Uh, so here actually we can also see the how the GitHub action is defined. So I can go to the repo and go to the workflow here. You can see that this is the definition. So here I am defining the name of the workflow. I am also saying that the workflow will be activated on anything, any code pushes on the branch master, and the job which will be running is the name of the job is Terraform. Then I have these steps. So step is like initially I'll set up the Terraform. then I will also use credential token credential to access as a security. Run Terraform init, Terraform plan, as well as Terraform apply. So here actually you can see that the action is if GitHub.event name is equal to pull request. So any pull request or any code change which is happening on the repo, this workflow will be triggered, and which will deploy the big IP configuration, right, or the big IP template. So here we are also using console, console service discovery. So you can see that we have already one app which is running right now. And if you go to the big IP into the pools, let me go and select this tenant first. So if I go to the pools, you can you will so we'll have here, let's say the because of console discovery, actually it also recognized it added the pool member automatically, right? And that's the part of the performance. Now if I go to the auto scaling group, so this is my instances here. You can see that these are my instances. Let's filter them. So these are my instances. There's only one instance which is running right now, which is the NGNX. So I can go to the autoscaling group here and go to the autoscale group, and I can edit this, make as also 3, and I can change this, right? So once I do that, I can see that. Okay, so now looking at the autoscale, so this is the part of the, okay, okay, so this is the part of the performance. Now, if you look at the autoscaling group, which got added because of the template, so I just increased this desired capacity to 3 as well as minimum capacity to 3 just to scale the instances. Now, if I go back to the instances, I can see that I already scaled the instances into 3 here. And because of this, I can see that my console already got the instances increased to 3. And if I go back to big IP, all those learned instances are automatically updated on the big IP. So basically, this happens because we have enabled AS3 service discovery on the big IP console service discovery. So whenever the console, the devices or the apps are added to the console, uh, basically those are automatically populated in the big IP pool member as well. All right. So that's it.